Hey everybody, good morning and welcome to day 816. I just thought I'd leave you down there a little bit while I got it packed up and ready to go because it is now 10:39 in the morning and I have to leave fairly shortly to go catch the train. Now, for those of you just joining us, for whatever reason today is a very snowy day and I've promised no car vlogs today because I have obviously dropped Sarah off at work several hours ago now, and the roads were pretty bad. There's a giant sheet of black ice at the end of the driveway even, so I've got to be careful with that. I mean, I don't even know if you could call it black ice at that point because it's so freaking huge you can already see it. But yeah, so just for safety reasons, no car vlog today, so I figured I actually probably needed to get you guys updated now because that was probably a good idea. Now, for those of you who don't know, today is actually pretty much a normal day except for the fact that first class of the day, I need to come up, I need to get my laptop. I'm sorry for any possible noise this may cause or disruption to your establishment. That costs more than I was hoping for. God damn it, come out. That was unsuccessful as all get out. Anyway, let's flatly position you again and get rolling again. So, my one class starts at 12:30. That's the only real difference with today. Today is, other than the snow, a very normal Wednesday. It's week 10. It's actually my first class of week 10. Production workshop and film comedy. For those of you not in the know, that is indeed what I tend to do on Thursdays. It's not going to be that bad, I don't think. Yes, there's going to be a lot of snow in the way, and for those of you who don't know, who've never seen the parking lots, I think we should have done previous vlog days. Whenever we get giant storms, what SEPTA always does in the parking lot, really I guess SEPTA's contractors, is they just shove a whole bunch of snow all in one place instead of actually dispersing it. So it's basically just have giant mountains of snow that take forever to melt. Which is actually pretty similar to what they do in just about every parking lot that ever exists. Now, where does that leave us for the rest of today? Well, I don't really know because I've got to get shit done. I'm taking you with me, but I'm obviously not going to be vlogging in the car. So, we'll see, I guess. What am I missing that I desire to pack? Well, yeah, let's take the iPad for a while. It's just so I can something to actually manage my emails. Instead of, like, I don't know, nothing. Because as I've been saying, that's like the one thing I miss about actually having a tablet. But really anything other than Chrome OS is just an actual email client because I use so many emails that it's impossible to do that sometimes. Anyway, I think it's about time for me to just kind of shove you guys in my bag and head out, and we'll see what happens. Well, I made it through the snowy parking lot wonderland somehow. They made the same mistakes as they did last time, and they didn't even bother to clear out the entranceways to the second lot. I'm almost at my normal spot. Snow everywhere. It's gonna be a nightmare. Speaking of the vlog camera, we were talking to the vlog like a few minutes ago, and it's now been forever because I had to wait for the vlog camera to boot up.
It was so windy though yesterday.
I didn't go out.
That when I took Athena outside, there was one point where she was literally just knocked on her side and her legs like just went inwards and she slid down a hill and she just looked at me like, help. It was so adorable and funny. I couldn't help but laugh, okay? It was just like, she was just like, help, human, please.
We came to 30th for lunch because 30th has the places. They didn't plow all the sidewalk outside.
And I fell.
You did fall.
It's like the first time I fallen this winter because of snow. Or fallen.
I was sliding around a lot yesterday just trying to get my foot bearings to clean up enough.
I was not sliding around yesterday. I was knocked off my feet by Athena at one point, but I didn't slide around.
I couldn't fight the wind. I had to take a different route today.
Well, I promised I wouldn't vlog and drive, but I didn't promise you wouldn't vlog while I drive. Have a camera.
Sure. I love cameras. They're great.
Oh yeah, I'm sure you do. I pressed record right now. Just wanted to be sure, because it's been one of those days. So, yeah, as you can see, the parking lot is a mess. There's mountains everywhere. The other one is actually a little bit better. But of course, because the thing that with snow is that they need a place to put it, so it takes up all the parking spots, so traffic flows into here. more easily. And as I mentioned, they didn't even bother to plow all of downtown. So like that little island that kind of goes through the middle of JFK when you get through 30th is not plowed at all yet. So that is a mess of ice. So we actually came down, even though I don't like entering from the 30th and market part of 30th, actually, because it fucks the thing. Yeah, this is a mess. It's all like that's all one continuous line.
They boxed you in, Nock.
Yeah. So because I usually do that thing that I've done on the vlog so many times where I make the quick left and the quick right, I can't do that anymore, and I have to do this the really freaking odd way. Also, it is officially below freezing again, which means that, well, everything's gonna freeze again. But that's to be expected, I guess. Anyway, how was your day?
My day was good. I didn't take all of my lunch break because I took a snow day, which means I have to make up all 8 hours.
Yeah, but you said you're gonna do a decent bit tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm gonna do overtime tomorrow. Overtime's fun.
Because I've got to do a lot of shit now because I don't know if I've obviously I finished everything that was on my schedule for today because most of what was happening when I left home this morning was actually just to go to class. So that's done. Tomorrow's is actually fairly light, like I think in general, but I do have other things that need to get done. For one thing, I got 2 volcanology quizzes today, the last 2, because for those of you who don't recall, there's 11 of them, and I've taken 9 of them, and then the last 2 are now officially out. So, and again, remember that, oh my god, will you stop tailgating me? It is cold and icy, and I am not going to speed up for you. Yeah, go around me. Go around me. Silly fool. It is cold outside. Do not ride my butt. If you want to drive over ice, do it on your own time. Drive safely, people.
I think the most notable thing that happened to me today was I just finished my last physics lecture ever, and all I have to do is take an exam now.
Yeah. Well,
Also, I decided I was interested in doom metal, so that's a sidetrack.
I mean, so my day was pretty simple. I mean, I went to production workshop, which started a half an hour late, and then the clip that the vlog viewers saw is that Liz, Tanya, and I went to lunch at 30th because we could. There's also a lot of variety in 30th, and we couldn't decide fucking anywhere else to go. So we just did that. And then I kind of just did my own thing, and I read a little bit, and I eventually went to film comedy, and film comedy is done again, except for the final, because all of my classes have something finals week.
Oh, as we draw nearer to McDonald's, this reminded me that I read an article when I was distracted at work today about Shamrock Shakes.
What about?
And how elusive they are, and how they have had various different flavorings over time, including at one point being lime flavored and at one point being vanilla shakes with green food coloring in them.
That's basically what they are, just slightly minty. Anyway, yeah, as you can see, the roads are not... The roads, for the most part, that are actually major roads are pretty fine. Let's see how Ann Street will be. So I think I mentioned this morning, they plowed 1 lane of it. They can go either way. Oh no, did they clear up a little bit more? No, they didn't really. It's still the same thing. See, there's this. And then as I mentioned this morning, there's a giant sheet of black ice at the end of this driveway, which makes things kind of difficult to get out of. But, whatever. So let's slowly and carefully make the turn into the driveway so we don't screw up anything more than we have to. And let's come to a stop far before we ever beaten away of hurting Liz's car. Now, I think we'll be the second ones out, so we're fine in the back. Because I'm going to go in with you tomorrow. We'll talk about tomorrow inside so I can stop rambling on in this cold car. And I will take the vlog camera back and we will meet you inside. Woo! Yeah, let's sit in the chair because sitting in the chair is fine, right? Let us turn on some additional light just to make sure that we don't get super, super grainy and that we can actually have some reasonable light inside this room. Okay, so, well, we are officially midway through the weekend because, well, only having half your classes removed by a snow day actually makes that a pretty easy thing to get to. Now, what does this mean for this week? So let's take a step back here, and should we show off my to-do list? Figure we probably should. Let's show off what I've got to get done now, right? Right. This will be okay, right? So let's have a look at tomorrow. Tomorrow is really just the 3 classes, and then the psychology, psychology class, and then the vlog you're watching right now, the 8:16. That's on my to-do list for tomorrow. And that's not a lot of stuff. You might be saying, well, let's look over here, because this Sunday, Monday, Tuesday is gonna kind of be a really, really big day. A lot of stuff's going down. Got a lot of stuff to do. Also, why is get over there, slightly rearrange yourself so at least the first 3 days are organized up top there. Yeah. So we could probably even expand this, but I don't care enough to. So yeah. I mean, so this looks a little bit lighter, but don't fool yourself. The storm is definitely oncoming here. There's a lot of stuff that's going to be due very, very soon and very, very quickly. Okay, this is just going to throw a complete and total hissy fit. That's fine, right? How about you move? There we go. That's almost in order. Oh shit, I fucked it up. I had it and I fucked it up. Well, close enough, whatever. We'll call that there. But yeah, so as I was starting to mention, there are now 2 volcanology quizzes due both here. So I'm probably going to try to knock them out tomorrow. Even though they're kind of like somewhat last priority for the moment, I still would just kind of like to get them done. But it's not a terrible place to be. Got a lot of stuff that needs to get done, but a lot of time to do it as well. So it'll be like the day of traveling on ice, and by which I mean, well, for the most part, you weren't really involved in any of it, but I guess we could backpedal a little bit and talk a bit about this morning too. So this morning I dropped Sarah. I don't think I filmed much today, like at all. So I don't mind running over a little bit, but so this morning I woke up early and I dropped Sarah off at the train station. And as I mentioned, I was not going to film any of that because I did not have a co-pilot. Well, I did when I was dropping Sarah off, but also in that morning vlog segment, I'm like still trying to get my thoughts together. So it's not really it's not really wise to just kind of have her there when it's best to be like, hey, look, we're gonna go drop you off at work. But yeah. So then I came through the lot, and as I was mentioning on the vlog trip back, they didn't actually plow most of the second lot. The first lot was in a lot better shape, except there's giant mountains of snow. Yeah, whatever. But so I had to kind of swing around like I was talking about before when I actually got there. But also it was just a pain because everything was still slightly ice covered. And I'm not sure exactly what the priorities were at Cornwall Heights. This was really weird. Also the other train. A lot of trains today were somewhat late. I mean, even my train I think was like 10 minutes late going in this morning. But yeah, so I came into the lot. It was fairly normal, except for having to go all the way around. And I mean, I still wound up really close to my parking spot. As I brought myself, I'm like 1 over from where I usually am. But yeah, Mark was running late just because of the other train on the other side was running late, so it's not really him. But also because now Mark has to go really slow. I was like, I can't wait around. I've got to get my butt to the train station. So I just wound up walking, and they shoveled the well, at least partially shoveled the little sidewalk that leads up to the train station, but they didn't actually get around to shoveling any of what's on the platform until like now at night at 11:30 at night. They were shoveling the other like when we got off the train, it was all shoveled. They were actively shoveling the inbound one, like literally less than an hour ago when we were getting off the train. That's how late this was, and I don't really know why. And it's not like the other stations haven't been shoveled, because Cornwall Heights like wasn't shoveled, but then like literally every other station in the line was shoveled, or at least being actively shoveled. And I don't understand it, because like Cornwall Heights is just like literally except this most crowded like, inner city stop. Not inner city stop, but like the most popular satellite station. I don't really know why they took such a long time to get it done when there's other stations that like I mean like Bridesburg and Tacony. Not to crap on Bridesburg and Tacony, but like the passenger volume is nowhere near what it is at Cornwallis Heights. And so honestly, Cornwallis Heights should have probably been tackled way earlier. Especially because now everything is basically turning into giant blocks of ice. As I was saying this morning, it was turning into ice. It's even worse now. Everything is literally now turning into blocks of ice because, again, as mentioned earlier, it made it above freezing today. And that's why these kind of days after the storm can almost be worse than before the storm, because it gets to the point where you're traveling on sheets of ice. That's where it gets bad. So, on to tomorrow real quick here. Tomorrow is kind of the a fairly typical Thursday for the most part, despite all the snow. I'm going to go in the morning to take Sarah to train. I'm going to just get on the train there. We'll get on probably the 35. Don't lock her in. She doesn't.
She hopped up on the counter to make my sandwich, and I was like, this is an opportunity that I can't refuse.
She doesn't know where she is up here. Don't lock her in. Just put her down. But anyway, I'm taking that one to go to the train station tomorrow for her work. I'm just going to get on the first train that I see then, because there's no real sense in coming back here for like 10 minutes just to go back again, especially with the snow. It would take forever, so I'm just not going to do that. I'm just going to go in. I'm going to go to my class. Classes are fairly normal. I'm coming back directly after I finish classes because you're working overtime tomorrow. And I'm not going to wait around, especially because I have so much work that needs to get done before finals. Like I probably, as I was mentioning earlier, will take those volcanology quizzes then. Anyway, this long, almost 7-minute rant is brought to you by the fact that I need to get the fuck to sleep, so that is my current plan at this here juncture of all junctures. Good night, everybody.